Hey, it's your girl Becky Kisoon. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is your daily source for personal and spiritual development. These messages are from daily meditation. You can find new uploads here Monday through Friday. This episode is entitled Finding Joy. No matter who you are, you want to be fulfilled. You want to be happy. And of course, you might use a different word to describe what you want. You may say that you want riches, power, the perfect career, adventure, or love. But why do you want those things? Because you think if you had riches or love or whatever you say you want, that you would be really happy. But the problem is, that's not true. Our culture tells us that we can find happiness by pursuing external things like possessions and achievements. But studies show that those things don't really make us more fulfilled or happier. Look around you, except for young kids. Most people are not that wildly excited about their life. And when you're looking, don't look on their Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram because, of course, everyone is super excited and stoked and positive and looking their best. But in the last 20 years, the field of positive psychology has researched what really makes people deeply happy and fulfilled. And what they've learned is that truly happy people share many common values, methods, ideas, and attitudes. Many of the attributes deeply fulfilled people share can be easily learned by all of us. By practicing the ways of people who are elated about their lives, we too can become a lot happier and fulfilled. There are many tools, tips, and tricks that you can incorporate into your lives, and just looking at your life, reframing and redeveloping things that you do on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis can also help. Oprah said, "Not so long ago, I was a poor teenage black girl who was emotionally and physically abused. It was only by using ideas and methods found in books that I got to where I am today. Now that I'm in a position that I'm in, I want other people to know that wherever they are, there is hope for a better life. You just have to put your hope in the right place." Many of us put too much hope in things that ultimately disappoint us. We put too much of our hope into things like money, our relationships, or certain achievements, certain pedestals in our career. And unfortunately, when these things fail to make us happy, we're left feeling hopeless and depressed and unfulfilled. Yet, when we put our hope and our energy into things that have been proven to make us happier, we get much better results. So, what do scientific studies tell us that will lead to real happiness? From countless studies done on this subject, 5 common themes appear over and over and over again that contribute to people's deeper enjoyment of life. They can briefly be described as having a lot of friends that you connect with in a satisfying manner, having a sense of purpose or meaning often derived from pursuing a spiritual path, having a purpose for your life. Why are you here? 3, enjoying your work or some other activity that you are fully engaged in. That's why I think that it's really important to pursue a career in something that you love and are passionate about in some way. 4, taking time to appreciate simple pleasures and savoring them as fully as you possibly can. For me, this would be realizing that every single moment is the only moment that really matters in my life, and fully valuing that moment just as if it was a moment that I look forward to in the future. And this is really hard to do, but you have to always remind yourself of that. 5, creating and achieving goals that add to the quality of your life. According to the book Find Happiness Now by Jonathan Robinson, he says our culture doesn't teach us how to effectively pursue these avenues for finding happiness. Yet when we learn simple skills that immediately help us to feel better or helped us to connect more deeply with people, our level of life satisfaction inevitably goes up. We start to have hope that no matter what happens to us in life, we can use these skills we know to feel gratitude, peace, meaning, and joy. I want to share a story with you. A philosophy professor stood before his class with some items on the table in front of him. When the class began, wordlessly, he picked up a very large and empty mayonnaise jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks, about 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They all agreed it was full. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and he poured the pebbles into the jar. He shook the jar lightly, and now the pebbles, of course, rolled into the open areas between the rocks. He then again asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed again it was. The professor picked up a box of sand and he poured it into the jar. Of course, the sand filled up the remaining open areas of the jar. He then asked once more if the jar was full, and the students responded again, "Yes, it's full." "Now," said the professor, "I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The rocks are the important things, your family, your partner, your health, your children. Things that if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, your car. And the sand is everything else, the small stuff. If you put the sand into the jar first," he continued, "there's no room for the pebbles or the rocks. If I filled a jar up to the brim with sand, I couldn't even shake the pebbles and the rocks to get them into the crevices. There would be no crevices. The same goes for your life. If you spend all of your time and all of your energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are truly important to you, the things that are important to your fulfillment and to your happiness, which at the end of the day are not external things, which at the end of the day are not just your career. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children. Take your partner out dancing. Go on that spiritual journey. There will always be time to go to work, to clean the house, to give a dinner party, or fix the disposable. But take care of the rocks first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just sand. I want to inspire you as you listen to this podcast, this message, to look at your life right now. And I want you to reframe what you can to be more fulfilled. Don't just go through the daily task of your day on autopilot. Take a good look at your life and say, what do I need to add into my life today that can help make a difference in how I feel for today and for the future? That might be incorporating a daily ritual with your significant other. It might be incorporating a daily morning ritual with yourself. It might be joining that kickboxing class. It might be going to the gym on a regular basis with one of your buddies. It may be signing up for that basketball class with your guys. And by class, I mean team. You see, I don't play basketball. It could be calling your friends more often, checking up on them, seeing how they're doing. It could be having close-knit small group sessions where you just get together with your friends just to talk and have coffee. Nothing too stressful to plan out. Think about what you can do to reframe your life so that you are more fulfilled and happy. It actually takes your effort and it won't happen by itself. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. If this podcast impacted you in any way, please share. If you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. I upload new content every single day. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, peace.